What's up everyone, Moonrider here, and today we're taking a look at a brand new premium ergonomic chair for 2025. This is the O3 Ergo Butterfly 753 from OdinLake. It features wire control embedded armrest, butterfly split backrest with 2-panel design, sturdy metal chassis with a polished finish, FlexBreath Mesh, and a backrest that locks at almost any angle. But ergonomic features aren't enough to make an ergo chair premium. That's why we'll take a deep dive into build quality and comfort and even compare it side by side with another of OdinLake's ergo chairs, the L1, which I reviewed just a couple months ago. So let's get to it, starting with unboxing. Right, here we have the O3. Oh, wait a minute, forgot something. Right, here we have the O3 and the optional footrest attachment. Oh, wait a tick. Right, here we have the O3, and I swear this is all of it. Believe it or not, it really ships in 2 massive boxes. So let's open these up and maybe find out why they ship like this. After opening up the boxes, you'll notice each has the individual content listed on one of the folded flaps. This first one, I guess, was box 2 of 2, and it contains a backrest and an accessory box. Doesn't seem like a lot just for one big box, but you'll also notice the wild amounts of cardboard. It looks like there's a lot more in here than just a backrest and accessory box. Well, not a lot more, but more. There's the base as well. But aside from that, all this extra cardboard is basically just corrugated origami to protect the chair components during transit. And the reason it's all cardboard and not styrofoam is due to OdinLake's Nature First philosophy, to use eco-friendly packaging to minimize environmental impact. I'm all for using eco-friendly packing alternatives. Just be aware if you have a small recycling bin, you might want to consider locating a recycling center near you to dispose of all this cardboard because there is a lot. Alright, back to unboxing. Box 1 of 2. You'll find the headrest, gloves, and manual, probably the actual accessories box containing the gas lifts, casters, and hardware, and lastly, pre-assembled seat and armrest. I love that there are no armrest screws to worry about, coming loose over time. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I say the O3 is the easiest chair I've ever assembled, by a long shot. Look, it only has 4 steps, and one of those steps is literally just placing the seat on the base and gas lift. I actually spent more time breaking down all the cardboard than I did assembling. Normally, I don't go too in depth with the assembly process in my reviews, I usually montage it up, but this time I wanted to focus on the assembly process because it's so ridiculously simple. Step 1. Attach the Whisper silent casters to the base. Now, the instruction manual doesn't make mention about it, but do you see those white caps on the casters? Well, they're not just protective covers, they're actually a quote-unquote silent sheath, so don't rip them off the casters like I'm doing. They're supposed to be there. Not only are these supposed to help with noise reduction, I assume by cutting down on metal contact or rattling, but they also make installing the casters into the base a lot easier and smoother. Just push them in and they're set. No fighting the casters to get them to snap in. When you're done with those, flip over the base and install the Class 4 gas lift. Step 2 is totally worth some Owen Wilson affirmations. Pick up the pre-assembled seat and install it over the gas lift. Wow. Thank you, Owen Wilson. Step 3. Installing the backrest to the seat. This is always my least favorite step to assembling every single one of my chairs, until now. Watch this. All you have to do is align the backrest with the seat, set it down, and it stays put, which makes fixing the 4 screws all the more easy. Step 4. Install the headrest. For this step, no screws are necessary since all you do is insert the headrest track into the slot on top of the backrest and push down. Easy. But wait, what stops it from lifting out? Well, the instruction manual doesn't tell you this, but there's a screw on the inside of the backrest. Look straight down and you'll see it. Tighten this to stop the headrest from coming out of the backrest, but don't over tighten or you won't be able to move the headrest up or down at all. Now, if you didn't purchase the optional footrest, then congratulations, you just assembled the chair faster than you could bake a pan of pizza rolls. Unboxing time not included. Meanwhile, if you did purchase the optional footrest, don't worry, you've only got one extra step. Insert the footrest beams into the slots under the seat. Secure with screws, attach your footrest, and secure with more screws. Finished! Now let's check out its ergonomic features and see how comfortable it is. Starting with ergonomic features, the O3 doesn't offer anything innovative. You'll find the usual dynamic lumbar support, but here it's attached to a height adjustable backrest. There's 3D armrests, 2D headrest, adjustable seat depth, and 135-degree recline. The argument might be, why reinvent the wheel? And at the same time, all the ergonomics work. But still, I feel like I've experienced all of these exact features the same way in far less expensive chairs. So then what makes the O3 special, or premium for that matter? Comfort. The O3 is by far the most comfortable ergonomic chair I've sat in. All the ergonomics feel perfectly positioned to promote optimal spinal support and healthy posture. But where I think the O3 truly shines is with its breathable FlexBreath Mesh. Now this mesh isn't a material exclusive to the O3, it's also used on OdinLake's L1, but on the O3 it feels different, smoother, softer, and more flexible. There's a noticeable amount more flex on the O3 compared to the L1's more taut weaving, and when I sweep my hand over the different fibers, the L1 has a more abrasive texture, especially when sliding my hand forward and backward, compared to the softer, smoother texture on the O3. Another way the O3 excels in comfort is with its butterfly split backrest with two-panel design. You may think these panels are designed to shift independently of one another, and that was my first thought when I saw the design, but that's actually not the case. The point of a two-panel butterfly split backrest is to offer targeted support to the upper back while relieving pressure on the spine by creating an empty pocket of space from the angled intersection where the two panels meet. If you look straight down while I'm sitting in the chair, you can see that empty pocket of space that creates a gap between my spine and the backrest. On typical one-panel backrests, your whole back is pressed to the backrest, spine and all. Since I had never experienced a split backrest before, I didn't know what I was missing, and going back to a single panel, like on the L1, feels really uncomfortable. And it's not just OdinLake's L1, but even my Kalami 5188, which used to be my go-to ergonomic chair. The pressure on my spine is annoyingly noticeable now when I sit in most other chairs, except for my Andaseat Kaiser 4, which does provide some spine relief by how its pop-out lumbar is designed. Do keep in mind, while the O3 is designed to comfortably fit a wide gamut of users, they do state the O3 is most comfortable for individuals between 5'3" and 6'3". To give you a better idea on fit, here are some measurements for reference. The seat is 20.5 inches wide and 19 inches deep. The backrest is 30 inches from its base to the top of the headrest, and is 20 inches at its widest point, and 16 1/4 inches at its narrowest. Of course, adjustable ergonomic features still play a huge role in how the O3 delivers on that comfort hour after hour, day after day. For example, the C-shaped lumbar is designed to fit the natural curvature of your spine. Even as you adjust side to side, it follows your movement to apply consistent support. Like the mesh on the seat, the lumbars feel soft and cushioned, absorbing your back as you lean into it. Since it's attached to the backrest, if you want to raise the height of the lumbar support, you need to raise the whole backrest, which is easily accomplished by grasping it underneath and lifting it through 5 locking points until you reach your ideal position. To reset the position sequence, lift the backrest to its full height, then lower it down until you hear a click. Also a part of this integrated setup is the 2D headrest that raises and lowers and also tilts up and down. From what I gather, there are 7 total height position points, whereas it tilts freely. It also offers the same relaxed mesh as you find everywhere else on this chair. It's very comfortable to rest your head against, especially when reclining. Speaking of reclining, there's actually some cool innovation in the way you engage with the Recline release. OdinLake uses what they call their wire control system. The technology was inspired by bicycle brake cables that can be routed pretty much anywhere on the chair's chassis. What this does is allow the designer to relocate controls in more optimal locations that better suit user experience and convenience, like in these 2 wire control embedded armrests. These flappy paddles serve as a trigger release for seat height and recline release. By squeezing the right paddle down, you can raise or lower the chair height. Meanwhile, on the left, a quick flick of the paddle releases the recline lock, allowing you to either keep the backrest free to rock or flick the paddle release at any point of recline to re-engage the lock. It's a nice feature I find lacking in many ergo chairs I've tested, which tend to favor only 3 or 4 locking points along a 90 to 135 degree range. Whereas the O3 here allows you to lock the chair anywhere between that 90 and 135 degree range. Also, if you're a fan of controlling the recline tension, there is a tension adjuster located under the seat on the right hand side. Give that knob a few twists either which way to increase or decrease the tension. So if these paddles are for seat height and recline release, where's the armrest height release? Right here at the base of the armrest stock. Pull up the trigger release to move the armrest up and down. Now these are only 3D armrests, which is a bit disappointing on a premium chair like this. Your only other directional adjustments are swivel inward and outward and slide to the left and right, not even forward and backward. The armrests themselves are dense PU padding that still offers a little bit of give. While they're not plush, they do still offer comfort when resting your arm or elbow on them. Lastly, you've got a seat depth adjustment that allows you to slide the seat forward or backward across 2 inches. You can find the release latch on the right side of your seat. It's very easy to access. Pull up and hold the release as you slide the seat to your desired position. There are a few locking points along the way if you don't want to slide it the full 2 inches. While not an ergonomic feature, there is still the Hideaway Footrest to discuss. As mentioned earlier, this is an optional attachment you need to select when ordering. Its mesh is the same you'll find everywhere else on this chair and is super comfy to rest your feet on. I like that with this one, you adjust the angle, so if you want your feet up higher, angle the footrest up more, or if you want to sit more upright and just rest your calves, you can angle it more downward. Adjustments can be made by moving the slider to the right for up or to the left for down, which allows you to then tilt the footrest through multiple locking points. Being a premium ergo chair comes with some high expectations for build quality and durability. In terms of build quality, everything arrived in working order, nothing was damaged, and assembly almost couldn't be any easier thanks to precise alignments between interconnecting parts. I'm still in awe of the fact that I was able to just set the backrest on the seat and it stood on its own while I bolted it down. Why can't every gaming and office chair manufacturer design their chairs with that kind of precision and balance? And how many integrate a coat or bag rack? Because that's what this is. Meanwhile, the butterfly backrest may look like solid metal, but it actually uses an electroplating process to deposit a metallic coating over the base plastic piece. Due to the complexity of the process, only 20 out of 100 pieces are successfully produced that fall in line with OdinLake's quality standards. As for durability, the O3 feels sturdy and stable thanks to an all-metal aluminum alloy frame that's designed to support up to 3,500 pounds and was strength tested to earn an SGS safety quality certification. Those tests included a 120,000 times lifting test and over 2,504 pounds static pressure test. The premium FlexBreath Mesh is also designed to maintain consistent comfort and support for up to 15 years. However, if you do experience any parts failure from proper use, OdinLake does offer a 15-year warranty, which you can reference on page 15 of the user manual. Now before wrapping this up, we do need to discuss the elephant in the room, and that's the price. The O3 is $999, and if you want the optional footrest, you're looking at $1,088. That is a steep price. It's double the cost of my Andesy Kaiser 4 and triple the cost of OdinLake's L1. So I get it if it's out of your price range, I'm right there with you. But if you can't afford it, the O3 really is a great chair. And when you really think about it, yeah, it's expensive, but it's still cheaper than some competitors like Steelcase, Herman Miller, you get the picture. This isn't the most expensive chair on the market. Another option, if you really want this chair but it's a bit out of your price range, wait for a sale. Seems like gaming and ergo chairs are frequently offered at discount. And that concludes our deep dive into OdinLake's premium ergo chair, the O3, aka the Ergo Butterfly 753. If you're considering the O3 for your own home office or gaming setup, I'll drop a link to OdinLake's site down in the description. And as far as last words go, I really do like this chair. Yes, it's expensive, but it is comfortable, and with a 15-year warranty, the O3 seems built to last. Thanks for watching.